This is Mike Loveday with StudentSports.com. I'm here with Ryan Arthur, a senior at Cherry Creek in Colorado, and he recently made his college commitment to Mercer, and he's here to talk a little bit about that. So before we get to your Mercer commitment, just talk a little bit about what the recruiting process was like. I know in the world of lacrosse, committing as a senior is kind of a rarity at this point in time. So talk a little bit about what most recently what your current summer was like and the recruiting process was like for you.
This summer, more than any other summer, was very busy for me. It was kind of like my last shot to get recruited. It was definitely very stressful, but gave me a lot more motivation. Especially for me, my recruiting process took a little bit longer than most kids, especially for lacrosse. Um, Going into my junior year, we had a couple schools that we were looking at. Unfortunately, one of the schools didn't have an accredited business school, and that was one of the ones we were looking at pretty heavily at the time. So we had to move on from there. And during my fall break of last year, we actually had trips planned during Hurricane Sandy. So that kind of set us back a little bit. Definitely some schools kind of moved on, and that's just the whole process. And I think definitely for everything that we went through and everything that we had to go through, I found a very good home in Mercer, and I'm very happy with.
You mentioned obviously you seem to run into a few hurdles, obviously weather being one
Yeah.
of them. So, is it stressful? I know we talked a little bit before we started the video about getting recruited as a senior. Is it a little bit stressful because you got some kids, I'm sure some teammates that have already made their decisions, and you see 2014 classes that have kind of probably already been filled at that point. So, talk a little bit about that and about whether it was stressful or not for you to kind of see that and kind of try to make that college decision.
Yeah, it was definitely stressful. I mean, I think for any kid in this situation, you look at a lot of classmates and teammates that you've played with since you were really little, and they committed sophomore, early junior year. You're going into senior year, and you're kind of getting a little nervous. You're definitely in a situation where you would love to be in that situation where you could have committed a while ago. But I think when everything is said and done, you got to find the school that's right for you. And I think that throughout everything, throughout all the complications we might have had, we were able to come up with a great school. And I had a couple kids who were, I guess, late bloomers, I guess you would say, that were with me and recruited this summer too. So I think overall it was stressful, but it was nice to have some friends there with me.
Yeah, and you said you made your Mercer's your college choice, but talk a little bit about what were the final few schools that were making your list that you guys went and looked at before you made your final choice.
The final four that we kind of had to narrow down to, we had Richmond, Lynchburg, and Salisbury. Richmond academically is just a fantastic school. It's in a very nice area. It was something that Colorado kids especially we felt like would be a very easy transition. Definitely something that was not the Northeast where you have a more brutal snowstorms and everything than we do here. So Richmond was definitely there academically. We really like Coach Shimati and all the coaches that they brought in. They were very nice guys. Salisbury, definitely just because of their program history. You also have to just include that to the list just because they've won how many national championships? 10 of the last 12, I think, and they're just such a historic program. And Coach Berkman, everyone says wonderful things about Coach Berkman, and then Lynchburg especially, it's in a very cool area. It has a very cool college feel. It's a good D3 team, and all the coaches there, Coach Kudelka and everyone, is a fantastic group of guys. And those were kind of the final three. And then we got to Mercer, and we went to camps and everything, and that was ultimately the final choice.
Yeah. So what was it about them that ultimately made them stand out to you? Like this is the program for me.
Well, Mercer definitely the coaching staff. Coach Hannon and Coach Jaden and Coach Crosby all were fantastic to me when I was there for a camp, and they were wonderful to work with, wonderful people. The thing that's kind of bigger for me is I wanted good academics, which we were able to find at Mercer. And everyone on my mom's side of the family actually lives about an hour and a half away from Macon, which makes it a lot easier for me. And going so far from home, I think the aspect of family being close was very important, and we figured that it'd make the transition a little bit easier.
Yeah, I got to imagine that having some family being able to come and see you play and or give your Colorado family a place to stay whenever they want to come out. I would
Yeah.
imagine make the decision a little bit easier, especially being so far away from home. All right, so we're going to kind of make the transition. You've made your college choice. Talk a little bit about obviously Cherry Creek. I know year in year out, you guys have a fantastic just athletic program out there at Cherry Creek. Your boys team and your girls team for that matter is always in the running for state titles year in year out. You guys reached the state championship game last year. Talk a little bit about what you guys got returning for 2014 and what the team dynamic might be for the upcoming season.
We're very excited. We have all our starting attack back from last year. We have a good core group of middies coming back. We have 2 of our 3 starting defense coming back and our starting goalie. So we bring back a big core group of guys, and we're very excited. And we feel like, especially making it to the championship game the last 2 years, losing to Arapahoe the last 2 years, that we should be able to hopefully bring it home this year. We have a great group of guys and a good coach, Coach Barry, so we feel like we're going to be able to bring it home this year, and that's always what you work for. So,
has it basically been the same core guys the last 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, there actually definitely has been a little bit of transition, guys going off to college and everything, and especially from last year's team, we bring back most of the core group of guys. 2 years ago, we graduated a lot of kids, but especially from last year's team, there's a huge core group of guys coming back, and we feel very confident about this upcoming year.
It's obviously always a dangerous combination of having young guys that have played together for a while and all returning. So
yeah.
Pretty much most of the starters back next year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to kind of make a not so subtle transition because it's fall sports, and I'm talking before you don't play football, but you play hockey. But most guys I talk to, their hockey career kind of mimics their lacrosse career too. But yours is a little bit different. You play attack on your lacrosse team, but you play defense on hockey. Talk a bit about one, why you play 2 different spots, what the difference is, and it does playing defense in hockey. Does it help your attack skills in lacrosse at all?
Definitely. Hockey is it's not like football, but it definitely makes you tougher. It's a good way to keep in shape and everything, and I definitely love the sport. I've been playing lacrosse and hockey since I was really little, and for me, I was actually transitioned to defense. I think somewhere around 7th grade. I was one of the bigger kids, and ever since I've loved defense. I love to throw my body around and kind of get in the middle of everything, and I think it definitely transitions into my lacrosse game very well because it helps with riding and everything. You have to play your angles really well, and you have to make sure when to turn kids, when you can hit them and everything, and it definitely transitions into my riding game very well. And like I said earlier, it's good conditioning and it makes you a little bit tougher on the lacrosse field.
Yeah. So, was there any desire to play defense in lacrosse?
I wouldn't be against it by any means, but I think my defensive abilities do come out in my riding game. There's always room to improve on something like that, but I definitely think I have a good combination with everything and my abilities offensively and defensively.